Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this week's Top 5 Camps. This time around we're showcasing 10 builds. What can I say? We're feeling a little bit spicy. And just a heads up, at some point in this video, I'm going to need your help with something. So with all that being said, let's crack on. Okay then, so who's in number 10 this week? Well, it's Twisted Rose with the Pier Market Adventure build. This is a pretty sweet looking camp, right? I like the vehicle that you've made out of, what are they? Pickup bed planters, I do believe, with a trash can merged into the front of it. Simply lovely. Quite a modest vehicle build compared to some of them that I've seen, but it still looks pretty cool. It works nice in this situation. Aye, good effort on that, Rose, considering you don't really build vehicles either. It's turned out really well, fair play to you. Now, on to your main structure. This camp doesn't really have any of them per se, do you know, that Rose has actually built, but she's done a fantastic job at decorating the prefab trailer. It does look pretty damn good, to be fair, that Rose. Interior-wise, your decor, very well fleshed out. I like what you've done with the gaff. You've properly made it your own. I like how you've partitioned it. I think that's what the word is. Yeah, again, fantastic job with inside of it, love. Now, to finish up, we'll have a look at the structures you have made. We've got this little garden area here. Quite a simple construction, but it does look very nice, and it's functional as well, so you can't really complain, can you? The last area we've got to look at is this barn that Rose has built over here. Well, let's say it's a barn. It's more of a stable, isn't it? Yeah, I think that's a better word for it. I like how you put it together. Your Brahmin's got an home, which is always good. Yeah, again, top marks from me, Rose. Thank you very much for entering this week. Congratulations on the number 10 spot. On a normal week, this would have been much higher, obviously. Really cool build. Well done. Coming in at number 9, we have Jawa 4 with the compact, immersive forest build. Now, this is typical Jawa. I think anybody that's watched the top 5 or seen the guys' builds before could look at this without knowing who's built it, but know exactly who's built it. Jawa's got a very unique building style, guys. There's not anybody else that does things exactly like he does, and I like that. I like the uniqueness about it. Now, exterior-wise, I like how scrappy it is. I like how immersive it is. I mean, obviously, the clue's in the title as well. That's exactly what it's trying to be. And personally, I think it ticks all the boxes in that category. It looks thrown together. It looks scruffy. Yeah, it looks like somebody's had a house described to them without actually ever seeing one. So, top marks on the outside of the thing, Jawa. You've done a good job on it. So let's hook our peepers onto the interior, and it very much matches the outside, guys. Scruffy, scrappy, and an absolute shithole. I'm also a fan of how compact it is as well. Everything's very close together. Personally, I would have liked to have seen more junk, but that's just my opinion. I just reckon this would look awesome with every single inch filled up with scrap. But again, like I say, doesn't really matter what I think. As long as you like it, Jawa, it doesn't matter. And that's not to say I don't like what you've done with the place, but like I say, more junk would have been cool. Overall, Jawa, I love the build. Exterior was phenomenal. Like I say, I love that unique style that you have on all of your camps that you create. And much like Rose's, any other time this were entered, it would have done better. No doubt in my mind. You've chose a hell of a week to come back, pal. Jawa, thank you very much for entering this week. Congratulations on the number 9 spot. Coming in at number 8, we have Texas MRFR with the Ashenheart Cathedral build. Okay then, first things first, right? I like the exterior. It's not my favourite one that I've ever seen off you, but it still is a really solid build. Don't get me wrong, it is cool. As ever, bud, I love the use of the wavy willard stuff, the roof and the support columns. That looks absolutely fantastic. Texas is one of the best at using them, and I urge any of you watching, if you can learn how to use them effectively, by that I mean, you know, actually build a structure out of them rather than using them as decoration pieces, you will be able to make some mad shit, believe me. They're a seriously versatile piece of kit. It's like the catwalks, yeah, you can use them for, you know, doing the job they was created to do, i.e. a defensive wall, or you can use them to do some pretty cool stuff. Case in point, right in front of you. Interior-wise, very medieval indeed. This has got some serious, what's the word? What is the bloody word now? Atmosphere, that's it. It's got a proper atmosphere about it. Now, believe it or not, I think that's a lot to do with the lighting in here. It does have that old school kind of vibe to it. You know, it's not like a 72,000 lumen LED torch being shined into your retinas. You know what I'm saying, don't you? It's quite a warm light to it, and I think that does add to the overall feel of the place. As does, yet again, the wavy Willard stuff. Proper gives it a churchy, cathedral-y kind of vibe. Yeah, I like this interior. Texas, you've done a good job on it. In fact, I actually prefer the interior to the exterior, but overall, a really solid camp. Thank you very much for entering, my friend. Congratulations on the number 8 spot. More than well deserved. Coming in at number 7, we have Aussie Kitty Cat with Granny Junko's treehouse build. This thing's phenomenal, right? I know it's only tiny, but don't let that deceive you. This would have taken a lot of time, and it's not an easy build to put together. Take a look at the treehouse, for example. Look how well it actually fits onto that tree. That's no easy feat, guys. Building around anything or in anything that's pre-existing, it can cause issues. It's not a simple task. When you have to be really precise as well, like a treehouse, i.e. it's got to be pretty much attached to, well, the tree. Otherwise, it's not much of a bloody treehouse, is it? That just adds another layer of difficulty. Aussie, though, being the legend that she is, has pulled it off with no issues whatsoever. Aye, this is beautifully well done. I think my favourite part about it, though, actually, is the little dock area that you've got. It's not the most technical part of the camp to build, although you have free-placed one of the bridge pieces, which does require a bit of trickery. Yeah, very nicely done. Yeah, that is still one of my favourite spots of it, guys. It's just the decor and the overall look at it. Yeah, top-notch work, Aussie. Let's have a ganders at your interior. I'm not expecting too much because of the size of it, but while we're up there, we might as well get a look at the treehouse itself, all the bits of decoration. That is beautiful, I must say. Gorgeous little treehouse. Anyway, this interior, yeah, as I expected, not too much in here, but it does look cool. She's got everything she needs. She's got a bed. That's all you need, really. I guess a toilet would be handy, but you're in a wasteland, aren't you? So you could just launch your feces off the side of it. You could even double it up and put some plants underneath it and it'd act like fertilizer. That sounds grim, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do, haven't you? Aussie, really cool little camp, this one. I love the treehouse. I love the little dock area. Yeah, 10 out of 10 from me. Thank you very much for entering this week. Congratulations on number 7. More than well deserved. In the number 6 spot, we have Silver Bunny with the petal pushing build. What a gorgeous camp this is. Well, no, it's not gorgeous. It's a shithole because it's immersive, but you get what I'm saying, don't you? Now then, the design of this place is bob on, right? I like how you've got that little top section just hanging over by a fraction. That looks really cool. It's little touches like that that make camps stand out. And you've also thought about gravity as well. That's something that a lot of people overlook. You've put a little bit of a support thing underneath it. Can't remember the exact name of what that item is that you've used, but I know what it is. That makes no sense, does it? Another thing I really liked about this, well, a couple of things I liked about it, actually. One, you've put glass in the windows, which, again, really cool little trick. Makes a massive difference to a camp. And correct me if I'm wrong, them walls are like triple layered, aren't they? You've got the Pine Barrens log cabin kit, you've got the abandoned mineshaft kit, and you've got the glass walls in them as well. Yeah, that's some work, that. I don't know how you have the patience to do it. I would have thrown my controller through a wall like Tailor-Made Wasteland. What I'm trying to say, Bunny, is I love the complexity of it, but I also like how simple it looks as well. It's very Wastelandy, whilst also being a kick in the penis to actually put together. So yeah, good combination there. One thing that isn't simple is the stairs that you've made at the back here. Guys, take a look at them. That is phenomenal work. And yes, before anybody mentions it, they do function. I've tried them. They're absolutely spot on. They're a bit tight, but they do work. Now onto your decor. Extremely well done. Some of the little merges you've done are absolutely fantastic. Good use of the chessboards as well. But I think my favourite bit is what you showed me when we was on stream the other night. The fresh flowers that you can place down on the desk. A desk which in itself is beautifully well put together, might I add. Yeah, them flowers there, guys, you can put them down on display, but when they die, they disappear. So if you do want to display some flowers, you've got to refresh them every day. A little bit of realism into a video game build. I like that. Silver Bunny, this is a cracking camp. Honestly, I absolutely loved it. You chose a hell of a week to submit. This would have been much, much, much higher if it wasn't, you know, an absolutely manic week. But yeah, there you go. Bunny, thank you very much for entering this week. Congratulations on the number 6 spot. Okay then, in the number 5 spot, we have a rather surprising entry here. It's Smoked Potato with Andy's Room. What a very interesting and cool buddy build this is. Now, I will say, I have seen one similar to this. It was actually in one of the random camp videos at Silver Bunny Films. I'll leave a link to that one in description as well, actually. Saying that, however, despite being a similar theme, Smugs feels totally different. Obviously, it's supposed to be Andy's room from Toy Story. Can't remember Toy Story, so I can't say if it's an accurate representation. But it does look like a kid's room. Seriously, Smug, you've done a great job at decorating this, actually. Some of the toys that you've made, that Rubik's Cube is absolutely fantastic. I think that's probably one of my favourite bits of decor in the room. I'm showing my age here, aren't I? With Rubik's Cubes and shit. Anyway, yeah, the old camp is just filled with really cool decoration that Smug's made. That little Scalextrics car there made out of, is it the Red Rocket bed, that? I can't remember its actual name, but again, I know what it is. Not very helpful, that, is it? We've got some cool decor over on the desk here. That Pez dispenser you've made, fantastic. Very well done, I must say. And it kind of puts into perspective just how big this camp is. It's a chunky boy, but you don't really realise until you see other items next to it. That Pez dispenser is a grandfather clock. So, yeah, this is one big-ass build. Like, this is massive, but it doesn't look like it, does it? It's really weird. Smug, this is a really cool camp. It's very unique. Like I say, I've only seen one or two more of these. They're not a really common build at all, and I think you've done a fantastic job with it. Aye, cracking work. Fair play to you. Thank you very much for entering this week. Congratulations on the number 5 spot. Right, okay then. In the number 4 spot, we have a very, very interesting build by the Flailing Fox. This is the Scrappy Sky Camp. Truth be told, I have no bloody idea what's going on. Fox has built this on some sort of floating terrain. I'm not sure how he's done it. At first, I thought it was a survival tent. And yeah, believe it or not, it's totally possible to do that. I've seen it done a few times, but I can't remember the method. Anyhow, I digress, yeah? What this appears to be is Fallout 76 being Fallout 76, you know, just random bits of floating terrain. Not sure on the map location, but it does look pretty cool. This is what I really liked about Fox's build. He's taken a really unusual spot and made a fantastic camp out of it. It's very unique, I love it. Now, the overall structure is obviously immersive and more friendly, even though it is floating in the air defying gravity, but we'll just ignore that fact, yeah? It is quite a wastelandy looking structure, and I love what Fox has done with it. Now, in terms of actually how he's put it together and designed it, there's not actually too much to the overall build, if that makes any sense. It does actually look like a fairly simple structure. What makes it, though, is one, obviously, the location, but two, the amount of decor that Fox has actually put onto it, and how he's done the decor, too. This is a prime example of the power of decorating. This thing looks absolutely sublime. Fox, you have done a brilliant job in terms of tarting the place up. I think you've actually managed to put lipstick on a pig. This looks fantastic, mate. Fair play. The awesome decor doesn't just stop with the outside either. Oh no, Fox has spent just as much time and given just as much attention to the inside of the place. Guys, take a look at that interior. He's probably captured the wastelandy vibe, and it's functional as well. I mean, look up there. Despite this being such a small build, he's still managed to get all his crafting benches in. All in all, this is a really cool looking build in a rather unique location, and it's more than worthy of the number 4 spot. Congratulations on said number 4 spot. Coming in at number 3, we have Alex P with the Nature's Lounge build. Guys, I don't have to say it, do I? This is a beautiful looking camp. Now then, first things first. Remember when I was saying before that the Wavy Willard stone walls can be used to make some incredible shit? Well, just look at your screen. It is a perfect example of it. And in fact, you know what? Unless my eyes deceive me, I think most of the camp is actually built out of them. I can always see 1 or 2 standard wall pieces here. That's very impressive, actually. Aye, fair play to you, Alex. Not only does it look gorgeous, but you've gone about it in quite a tricky way. I think most of you watching will know that you can't actually snap them to foundations. They're all individually placed. Yeah, there's been a lot of time put into this. I think those chimney breast pieces matching beautifully with the build as well. Again, another item that's not really designed to be a structural component, but Alex has used it for that and it looks fantastic. Alex, this is one of the nicest camps I've seen exterior-wise. You're always good at these kind of builds, but this one, yeah, it's up there, pal. Now, let's have a ganders on the inside of it. I'm expecting good things from it, and I'm not disappointed. That is gorgeous work. I like how you've used the stools as little wall partitioners. They look really, really nice. I've seen it done a few times now. Quite an old trick, but it always stands out. I will say, though, the house is quite minimalistic. There's not too much in here, but it looks good for it, if that makes any sense. I'm also a fan of the open planness of it as well. It kind of reminds me of one of those holiday-home cabin things. You know the ones I'm on about that are in jungles, like right in arse end of nowhere and there's nobody walls on them and there's spiders and snakes and all kinds of other horrific shit that can get into them. That's the kind of vibe I'm getting from it, at least. Alex, my friend, I don't think I need to say this, but on most weeks, this is a number 1 build. However, I think you'll appreciate why this didn't make the top spot when you see the next 2 camps. Thank you very much for entering this week. Congratulations on the number 3 spot. Okay then, so now we come to the number 2 position. Remember at the beginning, I said we're going to be doing things different and I'm going to need your help? Well, this is the reason why. As it stands, Mon Petit Fleurs, there isn't actually a number 2 spot camp. There's also not a number 1 spot camp either. What I do have, though, is 2 builds that are going to duke it out for the number 1 spot. But I'm not going to make that choice. You guys are. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this week the power is in your hands. All I need you to do is let me know the winner down in the comments. The person with the most votes will be number 1. The person with the least votes, they'll be number 2. I'll let you know who's won next video. Right then, so let's take a look at these camps, shall we? The first contender is Moonlight Cowboy, with the radioactive residence build. I don't have to tell you how much of a pain in the arse this thing was to build, do I? I mean, just look at it. Yeah, there's a lot of time and effort gone into this, to say the least. As you can quite clearly see, this build's made entirely out of ultrasite shards. Now, personally, I can't say I've ever seen another camp even remotely close to this. However, its uniqueness and rather cool looking appearance is only half the story, guys. This thing is also technically brilliant as well. Every single one of those shards that you see is floated from underneath the map. Now, I don't know the details on it exactly, but that just sounds like a kick in the dick to me. For a kickoff, I mean, look how well placed they are and look at how many Moonlighters actually put down. That must have taken some serious time and some serious abusing of the building system. It's a very tricky one to throw together, this. No easy feat by any means. Now, as well as having a quite simply incredible looking exterior, the inside's pretty decent as well. Now, due to the nature of this structure, there's actually not too much in here, but it is well decorated for what it is. Let's face it, the main attraction of this thing is the fact it's made out of bloody ultrasite. And I gotta say, just before we move on, the lighting from them shards inside of it, that looks phenomenal. That really does look cool. Moon, I've got to salute you for this one. Like I say, you've obviously put a lot of time into it. You've gone through the process of actually working out how to do it, and you've knocked it out of the park with the finished product. Thank you very much for entering this week. Congratulations on whatever spot you actually end up in this time. Now, for the second contender for the number 1 spot, we have Jacamara with the Water Playland build. Now, I don't think I have to say it, but this camp is a masterpiece, isn't it? Let's be honest with ourselves. I love all the different kind of boats you've got going on. We've got like a little double-hulled catamaran thing there. Not sure on the correct term because I'm not a fucking sailor. We've got one of the best speedboats I've ever seen in the game. I love how you've made the engines out of the terminals. I think that was my favourite part about it. Very convincing. But it's not just the boats either. Look at all the other little details. Jacamara's made a frigging boy, for Christ's sake. And look at that, we've even got a guy in a parachute being towed by the speedboat. I can't remember the correct name for that type of sport, but you know what I'm on about, don't you? Well, I hope you do anyway. So much like Moon's camp, this thing isn't just eye candy either. A little birdie tells me that Jacamara has floated near enough all of these boats and creations and whatever the bloody hell is made off pressure plates at the bottom of the lake. Do I really need to tell you how time consuming that is? Do I really need to tell you how precise you have to be to pull something like that off? Quite simply, this is one hell of a build, and personally, it's one of my favourite camps I've ever seen submitted to the competition. Jacamara, thank you very much for entering this week, and congratulations on whatever spot you do manage to claim. So there we go then, you guys are in control now. You need to let me know down in the comments what your favourite build was. Like I said, whoever gets the most votes for him will be number 1, and obviously the other builder will come in second place. Start casting your votes, ladies and gentlemen. Now, just before we finish this video up, I have got 2 honourable mentions for you. Under normal circumstances, i.e. not a tough as shit week, these would have been top 5, easily. So let's take a gander at them. Our first honourable mention goes to Dark One with the Maya Shack build. My first thoughts on this was, what an immersive looking creation. This is probably one of the most lore-friendly ones we had submitted this week, in all honesty with you. I don't actually mind the location, despite the fact it's in the Maya. You can argue with me as much as you want down in the comments, but the Maya is a god-awful region. I'm sorry, there you go, I've said it. Dark One's absolutely killed it with this build, everything from the exterior design to the interior decor. It's pretty much spot on, guys. Honestly, I can't fault it. I can't find a single thing wrong with it. It's giving me proper Moonshiner Shack vibes as well. Yeah, it's a really sweet build, this one, Dark One. Thank you very much for entering this week. Congratulations on the honourable mention. What a superb looking build. So for our final honourable mention and our final camp of the video, we have Terminus with the Scouts Rabbit Hole build. This camp is very unusual. I have seen people using trees to make camps before. However, I think this is one of the better ones I have seen. It's a very, very strange one, like I said. Now, in terms of actual design, like I say, I love how you've used the trees. That's very unique. But I also like the fact you've put junk walls in there as well and actually added a little bit more to it. It just makes it feel a little bit more substantial. It's a really cool build, this, mate. Like I say, very unusual, but I like what you've done with it. Everything from the structure to the actual decor inside of it. You've hit the nail on the head, buddy. Thank you very much for entering this week. Congratulations on the honourable mention. And like both mentions this time round, as I say, guys, any other week, this is top 5 material. And that wraps up the top 5. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching, and thank you to every single person that entered. It was a tough one this time round, and there was a lot of entries. So if you didn't make it in, don't feel too bad. Now, if any of you watching want to try your hand at the top 5 yourselves, there's a link down in the description to my Discord. Just click on it and the rest will be pretty self-explanatory. As ever, I want to say a massive thank you to all my channel members and Patreons. There's still too many to list at the end of a video, unless we want to make it 16 hours long, but just know that you're appreciated. Again, thank you very much, guys. As we say in the north, I'll love you and leave you, and I'll catch you next one. Have fun, everyone.